back to Racing with Jesse Rosinski. Happy Monday to you, if such a thing exists. I'd say it's probably this weekend because I was wrong and right all at the same time. Because while I missed Atlanta, just everything with it. Like that was a good weekend. IndyCar was good. F1 was good. Like there was a lot of good stuff that happened. So I had these a little out of order from when they happened. But instead of going through the daily, but I didn't want to break up all the stuff from Atlanta into several different days because that all seemed kind of stupid. Kind of the nicest way to put that. Flip flopping between, series from NASCAR to this to NASCAR to this. Like that just seemed weird. But kind of covered all again F1, IndyCar, SuperCross, Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup Series. Like there was a lot of good racing this weekend. And hopefully you guys got to enjoy it and you guys got to watch it and everyone liked it because I thoroughly enjoyed most of it, which again, I was wrong. I'm biased, I still miss the old just because of everything, strategy and all that the old Atlanta surface did, but that made the racing competitive and there are a lot of people up there and lots of stuff happening. So, good on them. It was different doing it on just a mile and a half, but they did some stuff, but we'll get to that. You'll for sure get to that. But first, got to move on to the Bahrain GP for F1. Starting out their season, it was great to see. Some takeaways from it. Ferrari looked great. They went out there and Charles Leclerc dominated it. Don't know how to feel about the deeper red. I'm just so used to the traditional bright one, but I do like deeper red, so it's not that. It's just the tradition thing. But Ferrari looked great, and you could definitely tell that Mercedes was definitely a step behind Ferrari and Red Bull at this point. Like clearly, I mean, and the drivers and all of them have, admitted that. So it's not like they're hiding from it or running from any of the problems that they have. They know what they have. It's just, getting it, fixed and how quick they can do it to get themselves back to that level. But yeah, you could definitely tell just the way they were running that they were off. Still managed to get a podium out of it. Stuff happened, but they were off. It's a shame to see Daniel Ricciardo not competitive, but again, the bottom six for a very long point there all had Mercedes engines in them for most of the race. So it's not just, lower people, like all of them are just, excuse me, they're all off. I mean, look how long Lewis Hamilton dominated with Mercedes. Sooner or later, especially when they come out with new cars and stuff and all this, someone's going to get it, better than others. People are going to be behind. That happens in all racing and all kinds of stuff like that. But I don't think it's time to like freak out for them. But because, there's still time to get on there and they have a lot more races. It's just, you could tell that they were off. Gasly, there's a lot of heating problem. People were talking about, overheating. Calm down, you're going to burn up. But Gasly's car legit burst into flames. That was something. That was a lot of overheating. Again, there are a lot of overheating problems for people throughout the race where they're getting told, calm down. Stuff. He was the only one that burst in flames. And I do have to give F1 a little discredit for this because that safety car period was an eternity. It was way long when his car burst into flames. There were people there to put the fire out, but for how long it took him to get something there to remove the car, like that seemed just forever. Could have just been knee, but it really did. I mean, there are laps just waiting for something to get there to get to the thing to get it off the track. They still had to get it off the track after that, and I have to give NASCAR credit for that because there were some wrecks on Sunday. Yesterday in the Cup race where the tow truck was there hooking up before the drive, ready to go before the driver even got out of his car. So, those people were taking big hits. So, sure they're winded and everything, but good job on NASCAR for at least doing that aspect better than someone else. I mean, those guys were right there right away the whole time. But yeah, Charles Leclerc dominated. There were a couple laps over Verstappen Yeah, last year's champion was very competitive, passing him here, there, and everywhere. Smoked his tires. Didn't end well for him, as we saw late troubles. I believe with like 3 to go. Nah, he went from up in second all day, pretty much to out. And then his teammate Sergio Perez went from third on the second turn of the last lap, engine locked up, I believe he said, which then let Lewis Hamilton sneak onto the podium and get that when 2 Red Bulls went down. So that's something they have to look at, for both of them to go down having problems like that. But Charles Leclerc dominated, got the win. Good for him. Teammate Carlos Sainz, second. So it was a great day to be Ferrari, and it was their first win since 2019. And the last time they did that, what do you know? They finished 1-2. Except Sebastian Vettel won and Kimi Räikkönen was in second. But Red Bull, both of them having troubles right there at the end. That could be all kinds of things. Driving style, like there's factors that go into cars and that, but like both cars and the team going down that, something they're gonna have to figure out. Again, Mercedes has stuff to figure out, but at least they've been open about that. The last couple of weeks with all of it, and they know they have. Here's where we have to fix it. Here's where the problem is. They just have to actually, get there to fix it and get the time and just everything to get it done with everything else they have going on, traveling and that. So, see how long it takes them to do that. But both Mercedes were running at the end, so I'm not going to say that Red Bull's going to have a problem with both going to be out all the time, but them both have mechanical stuff like that. At least Mercedes didn't do that, even though they're behind. At least both cars finished, so that the big positive there. But no one was getting near. Ferrari was just gone. Like Charles Leclerc was gone. Sainz was right there the whole time. Like Verstappen didn't have his troubles, he would have finished second. But it would have been 2 Ferraris in the top 3 on the podium. So they are, at least this week, first race of the season, they were up on everyone else. And Magnussen made his return, to Haas, and everyone gets a 5th. First points for Haas in the year, so good for him. That was a great comeback, just because he's been gone. So good for him to return to them and get that there. It was, again, there were a lot of people doing this, that, and the other. There's a bunch of good racing, and it was just the first race of the season. Again, you could tell who was dominant and who was off compared to recent years. But I'm more worried about both Red Bull cars having problems. Like, they're smart enough. They have enough engineers to put enough money into it. They'll be able to figure it out. And again, it could have just been a one-time thing, but both of them go down the last 3 laps with problems. Like, hopefully they figure it out. Hopefully, but I mean, they got the championship last year, so screw it. It doesn't really matter. But hopefully they figure it all out. I enjoyed it. There's Bahrain, there were lots of people there. Everyone was super, you could hear the crowd and people, like, so it was good when Verstappen was up there racing with Leclerc. Like, you could hear the fans, they were digging it. The track's beautiful. They travel all over the place. So I'm looking forward to the next one. Put the schedule up on the Facebook page. The link to it so everyone can see it for the whole season. Save it, do whatever you want. But there's a bunch of good, like 12, 1 o'clock, reasonable race times coming up. At least 1 or 2 more until we start really early when they go to Australia. I believe is the first one that's way early in the morning. But it's tough. And if you get a chance, you can always record it. But you get a chance, watch it, because I thoroughly, really, really do enjoy it. And at least give it a shot, because then you'll at least know if you do. But I think I dig it. I think it's really cool stuff. Moves me to the IndyCar XFL 375 from the Texas Motor Speedway. And I mean, there was passing, there was good racing. I mean, if you watched it, or if you didn't, the ending was superior. But Alexander Rossi was out within the first 10 laps with electrical issues. I believe it was on lap 9. Then teammate Roman Grosjean, he used to run F1 and all that, second year in Indy. He went out with an issue around halfway. Both of them drive for Andretti. So, again, issues there they need to figure out. But on a positive note, I mean, Rossi was fast until that happened, but lap 10 having that, so the cars were fast. It's just getting it to the end, which is a big one. McLaughlin He was in his own zip code for like the first half of the race until a lot of cautions started happening. Rookie Kirkwood, he looked great in that, and I like his car. It's that flat black, just the black look. I don't know, simple to the point, but he made a lot of great moves. He was passing all kinds of people all race until he went out. And he lost it in turn 3, slammed the wall. But he was looking really competitive and really good and doing all kinds of things, which in his first oval race. So he's young. So good for him. He looked good until then. Another rookie, DeFrancesco, he made a dumb move and went 3 wide under the white line going into turn 3. Really dumb. Really hard hits for Elio Castro Neves and Graham Rahal in the process. Taking all 3 of them out in the move that was just dumb. But Elio, and Graham, they handled it very well in their post race, interviews. So it was just really just dumb move trying to go 3 wide there, like especially when you're under that line, like tried doing it late too. Like it was dumb, but rookie mistake, and everyone was okay, which is the important thing. And then Joseph Newgarden, man, he stole that one. Like he was lingering back there behind McLaughlin for a couple laps there, but then coming out of 4, you saw him go, and it was just a drag race to the finish. And well, Joseph Newgarden beat his teammate out for the win, and what I thought was a beautiful, beautiful way to end that race. Like for how the race was going, passing Rex, like to see him, get that run going through 3 and 4 and get by him before they get to the line. Good for him. Sucks that your teammate's the one that did too. But hell of a race between them, and hell of a race for Jimmie Johnson, because you heard me talking about him on Friday. We hear me talking about him all the time. But to be his first oval race in IndyCar, which everyone was, a lot of people making a lot of things out of it. A lot of people wanted to see what's going, like so much of it, and finished 6th. He looked really good. He was making passes on the outside of people. He looked really good. He was going to have a top 5 till his teammate Scott Dixon passed him there. Like I think it was only like the last 3, 4, 5 laps. Yeah, he's 6, 7. I don't know. I couldn't see the number because I was watching it in the car. Well, the ending of it, last 22 laps or so. But yeah, if you're going to get passed by someone and not get a top 5, I mean Scott Dixon, I'm pretty sure that's okay if you get passed by him at the end there. But he looked great. Sure, if you're on Facebook, you saw the post I made, congratulating him that he'll never see. But that was a hell of a race, and everyone's making so much of it. The speed, all that. Like, granted, does he know the place? Yes. Did he win there 7 times in the Cup Series? Yes. But like that was good. I was very enthused to see that. Now, there's not a lot of ovals in the IndyCar series, but I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I mean, he got Indy, which again, he has experience at, the ones that he doesn't, I'd like to see how he does there, but I mean, he has enough experience at Indy that you should know something. So good on him. It was an exciting race. Like there was a lot of good racing if you didn't, get to watch it. But how about that Jimmie Johnson? No matter what you say, 6th place in your first oval race in IndyCar. Good for him. He didn't do anything stupid like a lot of them did that wrecked themselves. Good on him. Really, really good on him. So good stuff there. AMA Supercross in the Indy. McAdoo handedly won the 250 East Heat 1, 250 East Heat 2. Jet Lawrence, we all hear me talk about him all the time. And whether it's by myself with Chuck, flung off his bike in turn 1, literally almost got ran over, and falls all the way to 18th. Brown had the lead and was doing good. Went down at the end of the whoops. It was a hard hit. I mean, he landed right on his face. Like, took a hard one. But Lawrence then manages to come all the way from 18th, 6 minutes plus the lap. Go from 18th wrecked, almost getting run over in turn 1 to winning that heat. Like, that's how talented he is. And that's kind of scary. But hell of a comeback, no matter what you want to say. I mean, 18th wrecked, almost getting run over on lap 1 to that. No one can deny any of that. Like, that's really, really good. So that was impressive. 450 Heat 1, Anderson wins easily. Heat 2, Barja wins. It was a good one, but he won it. LCQ for the 250 East. Brown redeems that fall in Heat 2 and gets the win. Carnell wins in the 450s. Decent, good race. Then 250 East main event, last one we're going to see, really, because they're going out west to the 250 West, Seattle, I believe, next week. But McAdoo, he kept it racing for the first bit there. Passed by Lawrence. At one point, their jet But they stayed really, really like they were right there. He stayed right on him until he got to him, passed him. Jet stayed right on him until he passed him back. But when Jet got by him the second, I mean, it was just done. When Jet got back by him, he drove away by seconds. But McAdoo got a second, which is good, points day for him all around. But Jet was just in a different world after that. Yeah, he has been for weeks now. When he took that, right to the face there over, in turn one there. I mean, Doing, he went flying, almost got ran over, all of that. And to come back and went, look, there was nothing touching him. Nothing was going to beat Jet for after what he did in the first one. Nothing was touching. Hate to break it to the world. Like it was in a different, I don't know, he's on a different level, and good win for him. And then Tomac won the 450 main event, makes it 4 in a row. I will say Sexton and Webb, great comeback from last week after the wrecks posted on the page. Yeah, all that in Detroit though, with Sexton getting 4th and Webb getting 5th. It was a good race between the two, right down to the line. Again, those hits, like I posted the wreck enough time, on there. I mean, they took hard hits, so good for them to come back because they felt like just garbage. Getting up to 4th and 5th, that's really good. Next week, 250 West, takes over, and in Seattle. So 450 guys obviously are still going to be there, but that should be a really good race. So I'm looking forward to that. And see if Lawrence and Tomac can keep it up. I mean, 4 in a row for Tomac. I think he's just dominating right now. That point lead is very, very comfortable. Super, super comfortable for him. So it's a good buffer. But he's just been riding such a different brainwave. I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. I really don't. Hate me for saying it, but he was in a different world. That was good racing. There was that fight during the one heat. Yeah, during the one race, 2 guys went down. They had to break up. So we'll see what comes of that. We saw some deductions and stuff for things that happened. So see where it all goes from here. But lots of good racing. Like a lot of good racing. So I can't complain about it. Like good racing makes me happy. And there's a lot of that. Again, at Atlanta, I gave it so much, gap set up. It wasn't the Atlanta that I love for the Camping World Truck Series or anybody, but Freight 208, I can't say anything too bad about the races this weekend. Matty D, it was a damn shame to see him slip out of line and get into the wall on lap 1, have to go on the lap 2, be in the pits because all that that was disappointing, because he was doing a lot better than they did last year already. I mean, it's just one slip up, but still disappointing to see. Haley, in trouble and tire down in lap 9. She made a hell of a save before that. She had all kinds of there's a fire up under there. They had to pull her out of the car and all that. So, I mean, the bad luck continues for her. It'll end sooner. I mean, it always ends sooner or later for everybody. But yeah, fire up under there. So glad she was okay and they got her out. Stuart Friesen won stage 1. I don't like what happened after stage 1 because to me, there's no excuse how there was 7 laps between the end of stage 1 and the beginning of stage 2. Like you can caution, everyone goes around free a lap, pit. Like it. I get it. If it takes 3 or 4 laps because you have to give everyone, time to pit. Let everyone, do that, but it should not take 7 laps in between the end of one stage and the next one just to do that simple stuff. Like I found that to be ridiculous, but otherwise there was only a little bit of boring, single file racing here and there, but again, the end of stage 2 and the rest of it there was very good. It was very competitive. People were all over the place. Sean Hunter got stage 2. Corey Heim wins, for KBM, which is John Hunter's teammate there. I'm not so sure how I feel about John Hunter. Cutting in there in between people while he was down a lap and then pushing his one teammate around Selma and leaving his other one high and dry. You could tell he wasn't very happy about that. Didn't directly call him out in the interview, his teammate there, but I could see where the feeling are. So we'll see how that all plays out between. We all know they're all very competitive down there. Everyone wants to win. Why are you racing if you don't want to win? Literally, what's the point of it? But gave a good race again, I was really down on what they did to the track for a long time, but hey, I gave it benefit of the doubt and it didn't disappoint. So it's all like, it's all you could really ask for. Hey, I was wrong. You know, I was right at the same time because it was nowhere near the same Atlanta. And I was going to miss it, but the racing was exciting. They did a good job. So they did on the Xfinity Series too. Nally's car 250. There's a lot more destruction and craziness in that. But we'll say there was some, there's some stuff to it. It was a bad day to be, you know, junior motorsports as well. But, at the end, Gregson led the first 39 laps. Teammate Josh Berry leads number 40, gets stage one win. Gregson made some contact with the wall in stage two, like a lot of people, had some things there, but AJ won stage two. But again, it's colored cars on a plate like track. We know what colored cars do at plate tracks. Like those guys run together, those guys run really fast, and they're really, really good. They're always right there. So no one should be surprised that the colored guys ran good on the plate track. But they ran good. Sam Mayer lost two left rears, so I want, just for being, wonder what it, was. But again, the tire problems all over the place all weekend, and but him specifically losing, there weren't too many people that lost two, so him losing two, I would just wonder what it was. Again, camper, there's all kinds of stuff they could do to do that, but now curiosity killed the cat. Late big one ruined all kinds of days. And Trevor Bain, Josh Berry, Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier, Jeb Burton, Andy LeBay, Sage Karam, Tommy Joe Martins, and Stephen Parsons all involved in that one. I will say Sage Karam was having a hell of a run before that. So that kind of sucked to see when see the guys having that good of a run. And that's because the type of track, like it's good to see guys getting experience, but it's also good to see them running, up there. And he was up there a lot of the day, so that sucked. It really did. Like it happened in the Cup race too, where there was guys that were up there and just stupid happened. There's nothing you can do about it, especially at this kind of racing. But Ty Gibbs wins again. It does suck to be Ryan Sieg because he's got the white flag. I'm pretty sure he was still the leader at the line. Then a mile and a half later, when they came back around, he was all the way back in 10th. So I'm just about getting the win to that. But the runs people got was, were strong and timed well and amazing. And again, it was really good racing. So I can't complain about any. I wanted to complain, but it was good racing. So what are you going to do about it? Can't complain about good racing. I can complain that, it's not the same old slip and slide track, but this is more competitive. And I just missed the strategy of it all that happened every time the series was there. But good racing all the way across the board, all the way through the Folds of Honor. Quick Trip 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Cup guys. Something I didn't mention so far, I love all the added asphalt that they got on the front stretch there, because look at all the, 8 car, like look at all the cars that have gone through grass and stuff, like just sliding, like right a little spot like that have had the whole front end just demolished by digging into that. So I enjoyed that extra, bit of asphalt just because, it doesn't destroy as many race cars just because you slide through the grass trying to miss a wreck or lose a tire, just something. It was good to see there was more room for them not to have that problem. So there's a round of applause to them for doing that, because that got really old. And there was a lot of lead changes. I think they set a record for lead changes. Very much so. A lot of guys, leaders, a lot of good runs, like strong super runs. We saw people having until they really seemed to figure out how to do it best, towards the end. But there's a lot of great runs, and it was exciting. And again, it wasn't the same one, race, but what they did there put on a competitive race. So for all the time I thought I wasn't going to like it, apologize to them for that, because that was really good. Like they put on a great race. So again, good on them. I can't complain about anything except for the video suddenly getting all dumb on me. But these things tend to happen. I'm sorry if you're watching the video. All I did was move the mouse. But lots of good lead changes, lots of good stuff. Tires were a thing though. Again, that could be a camber thing and all this. Like there's so many things that teams could be doing, which make the car better, but it also puts so much extra pressure on the wheels, on the tires, or the way the angles are and everything. So that could be, playing a part in it 'cause people could play with all that stuff. Yeah, lots of that. Gregson hard into the turn two wall all on his own when he was leading. Chastain was leading early, loses a tire while in the lead, makes contact, ended up finishing really good. But again, against the cars, I will say handle, they hold on a lot better. A lot of those hits you saw people make, they would have been dead last year, dead in the water, race over. So there is a good thing. There's a wreck. Again, a lot of people went around though. And the wreck to end stage one had Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch, Chase Briscoe, who continued on, and Ty Dillon shot at Mike Joy though, making excuses for Ty. He was back there because of a penalty on pit road. It's like, no, bro, he was in the 20s the whole time. He was way back there the whole time. So, yeah, it's unlike his teammate Eric Jones, who was up there until bad happened. But let's not make excuses for Ty Dillon. He's just terrible. He's been running terrible. His numbers back me up. Reddick lost the tire while he was, up there to lead, like in front of the whole field, which, got a huge one. And he lost his tire. That got him. Kurt Busch, who carried on, did good. Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Austin Cindric, Corey LaJoie, who finished well. Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Michael McDowell, Todd Gilliland, Cole Custer, Harrison Burton, who's doing terrible, and Alex Bowman all involved in that one because, he turned coming, I believe, out of 4, and he was right in front of the field. That should have been, I don't say should have been, but that could have been terrible. So at least it was only, that. I don't like, let's sit there in a 2-lap penalty for having too many men over the wall. Like, that seems a bit steep and a bit much, but safety and all that, but too many men, so you get 2-lap penalty. Come on now. Kyle Busch made a great save before he pulled off and went into the garage, and you saw him just walk off without saying a word to anyone. Yeah, typical Kyle, not going his way. Screw it, just walk off. Yeah, but again, when you hate losing more than you like winning, kind of mood do you expect him to be in? Stenhouse loses a tire up front. Cindric gets into him, and it collected Harvick and Eric Jones, who are having good races too. So that was a shame. But again, another tire. But Harvick was up there looking competitive, which was a good sign. Eric Jones is up there again, looking competitive. He just keeps getting caught up. Bad luck, but at least he's up there. He's running good. He's competitive. That's was the key of all this new car and all that was supposed to do. So at least he's competitive. Larson again goes around at the end of stage 2, and that was all just Denny, just air, the way the air is, and he was already turning the wheel, trying to go, coming out the turn, going through the quad oval, and just didn't hit him straight. Took out Denny and Chase with him, but at least they all admitted it too. They're just trying to make a run, and and again, it was the first time playing these kind of carts, that kind of track. There's just so much going on there, but that was one of the typical just they didn't get them right things, which you don't expect too much from Denny, but again, new card. These things happen. Blaney got stage 2. Todd Gilliland went around, and Cody Ware murdered that inside wall in the back straightaway. So pretty sure he was the one that was still in the car, and they were hooking him up, I believe. But that was a hard hit for Cody Ware in the 51. So I was glad to see him get out because that was just a scary angle at a lot of speed. That's the way it is, though. Justin Haley, Chris Buescher, and Bubba Wallace, they all wreck coming to the line there. Just one of those racing things. Play tracks happens all the time. William Byron got the win. He looked strong. Yeah, he was right up there pretty much all race. So good on them. They had it figured out. He had a very smooth looking car. It seemed like it handled well and still had speed, which some people you saw were just way loose, and it was good. But again, they need to stop with all the camber and everything else. Again, tires need, obviously with all these problems, that has to be done, but they're also adding, all kinds of stuff they could be doing, which again makes the car faster and handle better. But for blowing out tires, they got to figure out, what to do with that. And Goodyear, they don't have an answer. You better find one. But otherwise, all I got to say is it was good to see, William Byron get a victory. So there's another one for Hendrick. Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain, Kurt Busch, Daniel Suarez, and Corey LaJoie round out the top 6. And how about that? Especially as Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain, Kurt Busch, and Corey LaJoie were all involved in things that happened on the racetrack at one point. It was good to see Kurt come back like he did. Like that was great. Like that's written again. We got Hendrick, we got Gibbs, we got Trackhouse, we got 2311, we got Trackhouse, and then we got Beard. Like so what, 5 different teams in the top 6? Like that's what we want. Again, there's a lot of wrecks too. But that's what you want to see. Like a lot of different teams, a lot of different guys. Chastain, running good against Suarez up there. Corey LaJoie, like, it's good to see all of those guys. And Bubba was up there and competitive most of the day until, he couldn't be. Missed all the, chaos. So good on him. See, I'll give him credit when, credit is due. Didn't get the finish out of it that he was going to. But again, they all wrecked, coming to the line. So that happens a lot where you go from like, hey, to real fast. But good stuff. Josh Bilicki got a 17th for that team is great. I mean, how often do you get to see them up there in the top 20? So good on them. Again, who cares? A lot of people wrecked out, so they still got a really good run, which helps with points, money. Good for them. Harrison Burton, 25th, only because so many cars wrecked out because he was terrible all day and he's been bad all season. Sorry. I'm going to be on him. They got rid of Matty Day after I started listening to him. He started getting better. They still got rid of him to give him a spot and left him rideless for a while. And, so I'm going to be on them all the time. You're just moving people out to give, certain individuals rides, even if, they're not ready, haven't heard all that. They've been doing it a lot, screwing over so many people. Like, was Suarez ready? No. Was Logano ready? No. Was John Hunter ready and good enough equipment to anything? No. Like, it goes on and on. How many times? I think Alfredo was up there, I believe, at one point. Like, they did it. Daniel Hemrick. Like, look at the guys they've had run Cup cars that weren't ready yet, especially driving for teams that, aren't the greatest in the world anyway, which has made it worse. So we've been doing a lot of that lately. So I like to talk trash about that, but sorry, Harrison dropped the ball again for another weekend. But overall, the racing was good. I liked the racing. Did I like seeing the strategy and people trying to preserve tires and all that? Yeah, just for the strategy point and all that. And what that did, yes, because that took driving skill and all kinds of stuff to save your tires at Atlanta before. Like they'd pit, caution would come out 2 laps later. They would still get tires 2 laps later because it did that much damage to them. So that part we were on, but it was good. I'll give them the credit. Credit where credit's due. NASCAR put on a good weekend there, and and that there's the specs again. I shared it on the page, but transition apron now 18 degrees, banking's up at 28 from 24. The front stretch is 6.5 feet wider. The back stretch is 13 feet more narrow, and the turns are 15 feet more narrow. So it added all kinds of different stuff to it. And again, the racing was good. So there is you guys were right. I don't know. Call me whatever you want. At least I admit when I was wrong, because it put on good stuff. Again, like I said, it was, they stayed race here. So it wasn't like, the boring, like they turned this into another one of those. Just seen a lot of speedway racing where it's just straight line. We didn't get as much of that. And people were all over the place, lots of different leaders, all that. So it was good. So congratulations to them. I mean, God knows what they're going to do with all kinds of other tracks, but it's still good. So I can't complain any about that. We got 3, pretty good races in Atlanta. Supercross was, that's some pretty good racing competitiveness, times. F1, we got to learn a lot again. Ferrari, all them, Red Bull, Mercedes, see where they are. We're all in, Jimmie and IndyCar. Again, good race, great pass at the end to get the win. And Jimmie is up there in 6th and looked good. So that's a great confidence boost for him. So good weekend of racing. I'm sure I missed other stuff. I'm sure I did. But those were 6 good races. So that all being said, I'm going to jump off here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're watching, sorry for I don't even know what the camera did there in the middle of it. Like, can't remember it ever glitching on me in the middle of one. So that was cool. But let me know what you think. Comment. All you got, follow along. YouTube, Rumble. All you got to do is follow. Hit like on the video. A few words. Tell me what you think. It helps boost the page's numbers and get it more, accessible for people. Get on all the socials, share out the audios, do all that stuff to help it, grow and to get to more people because, I thoroughly enjoy this. And, I think there's a lot of good racing out there. People just, found it and gave it a chance. So, we'll see how it goes. But I appreciate y'all. I'll be back on Friday with Walter. And if he's not there, I'll still be there to go over the weekend because there's a lot of stuff coming up there. I'm excited about, you know, Coda. Hopefully it's not torrentially downpouring like last year. So we actually get a really good race, but where people can see things. So we'll see how all that works out. But I'll be back on Friday. So enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks for watching. Share it all out. Comment. Let me know what you think. And until Friday, my friends, peace.